Hey, what's up? What's happening? It's me, Les, also known as Forrest Joe, back with So Much Pain, Episode 3, a series of videos that allow me to process my pain, where it came from, how it affects my life, and how I have passed that pain on to others. I'm out in beautiful Hawaii, enjoying a 2-week vacation. As you know, just being an artist, comedian, yoga instructor. What else do I do? Make music. It can get crazy, especially living in Atlanta, where I'm like a black fish in a sea of black fish. So it's important for me to take time away. But I still feel the need to create. There's the creative spirit in me. I look forward to taking a vacation one day where I get away from it all, where I get away from my phone, where I get away from creating. But I haven't made it to that point in my artistic career yet, so that will happen though. I definitely will be off the grid at some point. But let's go ahead and get into it. I was going to try to keep these in order. Like I said, I first started out with the pain I experienced from my father. And episode 2, I got into some of the emotional unavailability that I dealt with when it came to my mom. And I had planned on diving deeper into that. And I'm still gonna get into it, but I just feel like I gotta talk about these feelings as they come. And before I do, let me just get these bullet points off, so I don't forget. May remember to talk about them, but we'll see. But I feel like they're important to discuss them in the beginning of this episode. The first one was traffic. How I hated my mom during puberty because she kept me from the world. I touched on that a little bit in the last episode because when I was 5, her baby brother, my uncle, died in a car accident, and so she kept me sheltered. And then next bullet point is push me to be better, but it hurt. I had to fight for my mom's approval. Felt like a failure after I flunked out of college the first time, and no woman I've dated measured up to her. And then also I took a lot of that hate that I had from my mom out on the mother of my children, my ex-wife. All right, enough of the bullet point notes, because I hate scripted shit. It just feels so robotic, like you're talking to ChatGPT, and that is not who I am. I want people to feel where I'm coming from. I want people to feel my pain, so that encourages them to process their own pain. And I was watching that video of Terrence Bud Crawford, where he talked about how his mother told him that he wasn't shit. Like, his dad told his mom that he was going to be world champion, but his mom was all like, nigga, you ain't going to be shit. I had seen that video. We're going to get these outside elements in here too. But I had seen that video previously this week. And I was like, damn, that brother's hurt, man. That brother had a lot of rage in him, a lot of pain in him. Always feeling like he had to fight for his mother's approval. And I really didn't know what I was going to do with that video afterwards. But then watching it again this morning as I was looking on Twitter, and I was just seeing a lot of comments about it. And it was funny to me seeing black women comment on it, oh, that's fucked up, that's, yada, 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 and just faking like they cared. because I know from experience in my travels that black women have so much of their own pain, a lot of coming from us black men, and they either didn't know their fathers, or if they had a dad, their dad really didn't let them into their world of, the pain they experience. There's been so many times I've heard people say, "Oh, I don't remember a time when I saw my dad cry," or the only time I saw them cry was when their own parents died, or at maybe the wedding. It's funny to see, thinking about that. I asked my cousin recently if he cried when his son was born. He was like, "Nah." It's like we men are so detached from our emotions. And the only emotion that we know is hurt, pain, rage. We're afraid to admit when we're scared because it just means that we're weak. So yeah, just makes me think of Doughboy in Boys in the Hood, where he was like, they don't know, they don't show, or they don't care about what goes on in the hood. And that's what it's like being a man, especially being a black man in this crazy world. And I see both sides. Going back to that video of Terrence Crawford and his mom, like, I see both sides of it. It's like, one, how are you supposed to raise a black man in the society? In a society that doesn't give a fuck about us, in a society that constantly chopping our dicks off, in a society that doesn't want to acknowledge the pain that was imposed on us black men. Like, we had to watch, first of all, we got beat down, we got emasculated on a regular basis, we got lynched, we got our dicks chopped off, we always had to bow down to the white man, we couldn't protect our families, we had to watch our women get raped. Then as time progresses, like, we couldn't even, like, when it came to social services, if the woman was going to receive any sort of aid or welfare or subsidized housing, the man couldn't be there. To be a black man in America is to be a trans woman, because we have to our dicks have to be chopped off to keep the peace. I mean, prime example, you see Jamie Foxx just got his dick chopped off just for literally talking about fake friends in reference to Jesus and Judas. But then another side of that video that I saw, I was like wondering where Terrence's mom's pain came from, all she experienced. I have this great idea for a movie that I want to do. I don't care, I don't care about putting ideas out, because nobody can do it the way I can do it, and nobody can execute my vision the way I can. But one of the first childhood memories that I have is of The Color Purple, and it's a very dark movie, but I want to do a different version of it where I explore the pain that the men experienced in the movie. Like, where did Danny Glover's character pain come from? Where did Mrs. Pain come from? Where did Mrs. Dad's pain came from? And then I think the third side of that Terrence video. And by the way, I clearly didn't know Bud's history. If I did, I would not have rooted for Spence. Yeah, I like Spence at first. I saw him talking shit, and I'm a former Red Leg artilleryman, and that's what we do. We talk cash shit, but of course you got to back it up. But if I knew the monster that was inside Bud, yeah, I would not have. I would have been rooting for him all along. But it just hurt to see another man just talking about he was fighting for his mom approval. How he felt like he had to win all these fights and win all these tournaments and win all these belts just to hear his mom tell him she loved him. And what hit me dead in the chest towards the end was like, the interviewer asked his mom, was like, were you gonna ever tell him you loved him? And she was like, nope, like emphatically. And I didn't get it as bad as Bud, but I can relate a lot because my mom was mean. I keep it a bean, man. My mom was a bitch. Mainly during puberty. Like, I know my mom's love was there from the time I was born until right around puberty, when things, once that rebellious spirit pops up. And like I said, I have a lot of empathy and a lot of grace for her because I understand, part of her story. Not all of it. I know she felt like she wasn't getting enough love from her dad, not enough acceptance. My grandmother was a mean woman as well, like a lot of older black women. And of course, that got passed down to me. My dad left home to chase his dreams in 1983. He had a spiritual encounter with God, and he went off to Virginia to pursue ministry full time. He didn't really have a plan. And so he left me and my mom. And it's funny, I brought this story up to my mom. I was probably like breastfeeding time. She was like, nah, at the time you was off the titty. I was like, man, I'm an independent ass kid. But I know that the stress, and abandonment that came from that passed down to me. I was so young. And just growing up, she always pushed me to be better. But what I needed was just, I needed a little bit more love. And I go back and forth on this because on one hand, that hurt and that rage that developed in me has fueled me. Just having a dad to beat me like he was trying to kill me, but then telling him he loved me afterwards. And then having a mom that constantly pushed me because all she saw in the office, she was an accountant, or she still is. Yeah, all she saw was the black men, the janitors, and she knew there was more for me. It's like push me to succeed. It's like on one hand, I excelled in the Army, achieved the rank of staff sergeant in a short amount of time. I made it through the Iraq War not once but twice. I got a bachelor's and a master's degree. Even when shit got hard with my family and we got evicted and I busted my ass to keep them out the shelters, off the streets. Like I couch surf with a wife and 2 kids. It's like, because of that upbringing, I was built for the bullshit. But at the same time, I just want to be seen for more than that. Like, I want to be seen for more than a provider. That I just want to be told that I'm loved. All of me. And it's hard. Like, I know people are like, oh, why don't you just say this stuff direct to your mom. That's not easy. That's easier said than done, because I've learned that, especially when it comes to black people, a black man and a black woman's pain cannot exist in the same room at the same time, because they got their pain, we got ours. And I saw that come out in my last relationship that I dealt with. And I knew there was going to be issues, because the young lady I was dating, she couldn't even understand where her, dad's pain came from, why he couldn't show up, why he didn't know how to show up, why he didn't know how to show love. It's like these women that I date, and even my own mom, I gotta be Michael Jackson. I gotta constantly perform and constantly spin kick and and as soon as sometimes I just want to be in the back like Tito, just playing the bass, dude, just chilling until I'm ready to go out there and be Mike. But as soon as they see that you're not, let me rephrase. I felt like I had to be perfect to get love. Love is so transactional. I don't believe that shit exists anymore. Like, real, genuine love. That's why at this moment I have no desire to get married again. Like, just the shit I've been through, my trust issues. I just want to get my money up to a point where I have contracts with these women. And that's sad. I know eventually I'll sit down and talk, with mom, and just, the relationship has gotten better over the years. But I just want to be loved. That's it. Flaws and all. I hear so many women when they find, that love in relationships, they be like, oh, he loves me for who I am, flaws and all. I could be flawed around him. But I'll be one to say, can he be flawed? I told the last woman I dated, I was like, I need to have space to be flawed. I need to have space to fail. I need to have space to not know what the fuck I'm doing all the time. I need space to figure shit out. And not constantly be told, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. Why are your hair like this? Why you got these tattoos on your face? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Why don't you, why don't you get a job? Why don't you? It's like, just want you to see me for the greatness that I am, the same way I see you for the greatness that you are. And so, yeah, I'm going to close this one out because I try to keep these things about 20 minutes. I know at some point this is going to turn into a book. I've got to just got to talk it out first. But let me go and close out with prayer. Heavenly Father, we just come to you today. Just thank you for using me as a vessel. Thank you for this platform for me to get out my pain, to process it. I pray that it touches so many men out there. We just deal with so much pain, Lord, and just thank you for being my source. Thank you for being there every step of the way. Thank you for giving me the strength to face my pain head on. And I pray that you give these other men out here the strength to face their pain, because as I say, Lord, heal men, heal communities. In your name we pray, amen. And that's it. If you need any prayer requests, if you need merch, also we're taking donations. You can head on over to BrothazNeedTherapy.com. The link will be in the show notes. And that's it. Y'all be great. Peace.